Okay, so I was between 8 or 10 years old when this happened. It was in my old house. For reference, my bedroom was very small. My bed was on the side of the wall, and if I turned to my left, I could see my door. Basically, I woke up one night at around 3 or 4 a.m. for no reason, and I was sweating so much. It's not like I had a bad dream though. In fact, I don't even think I dreamt at all. Anyways, my mom has three different colored tops for her work: purple, red, and black. The purple top was new and she rarely even wore it. So I woke up and I saw that my door was slightly open and the hallway light was on. I saw what appeared to be my mother staring right back at me, but it wasn't her. She had no mouth or nose, just eyes. I stared back and slightly yelled out, "Mom, what are you doing?" She didn't respond. "Mom," and then I heard her say, "What?" but from her bedroom. So what the fuck was that thing staring at me? And like I said before, my mom rarely even wore that purple top, but the thing at the door was wearing it. After that, I'm not sure how, but I fell right to sleep and woke up before my mom at around 6 a.m. The hallway light was off, but I so clearly remember it being on, otherwise I wouldn't have seen that thing. After that day, I come back home and so does my mom. Guess what top she was wearing that day? Purple. Ever since that day, I can honestly still imagine the way it looked like a human, but it just wasn't. So basically, I've had quite a few of paranormal occurrences happen to me, and I want to share them to everyone. I'll talk about my first one. So this story starts on a Saturday night. Before going to bed, I was quite sick, which made me fall asleep quickly. Click. A strange clicking sound woke me up. I look around the room with my head feeling heavy. One thing I noted on later the next day was that my light was on and one of my window curtains were wide open. Anyway, as I looked around the room, I thought I saw something in the corner of my eye. Keep in mind, in all of my stories, I'm a very paranoid person, so I really thought I saw something. I looked at the window with its curtains open, where I thought I saw something, and I kid you not, there, through the window, was half of a head. It was really dark outside. It was about 2:30 a.m., but I don't know. Since it was dark, the half of the head was pitch black. As soon as I saw half the head, it quickly dug down. I'm not sure how I got the courage, but about 10 minutes later, of just laying there in shock, I got up and looked through the window. I didn't see anything, but I saw the back door that would let you into the back garden was wide open. To this day, I can't explain this, and all the other paranormal events don't seem connected to it, so I'd say this is just a mystery. One night, as I sat at home alone, relaxing and watching TV, I heard a noise from out in my field through the open windows. This was a pretty normal occurrence given that I owned about 6 acres of empty field at that time, and there were a lot of wild animals out and about, like skunks, deer, and raccoons. But on this night, my cats jumped up onto the windowsills, puffed up, and backed themselves into the corners of the windows to listen in alarm. This was not at all like them, as they were also used to the various wild critters out there. As I muted the TV and listened, I realized that whatever it was sounded big, almost as if something was maybe being dragged to the tall, dead field grass. The cats were also growling, increasingly alarmed by the second. For whatever stupid reason that I came up with in my head, I decided to go outside with a knife, of all things, to go check it out. I stepped out my front door and the motion light came on, as expected. But as soon as I stepped around the corner to where the noises were coming from, the shadows took over and casted me in total darkness. Now, typically the critters will take off when they hear someone coming towards them. Whatever this was either eating something and unafraid, or was just plain big enough that I was the least of its problems. Then, through the darkness, it growled at me. It had the smoothness of a cat, but with the loudness of a dog. That's the only way I can describe it. On pure instinct, I put my hands up in the air and backed away around the corner, back to my front door. Why I didn't bring a flashlight, I'll never know. As soon as I got back inside my house, I went directly to close my blinds and windows that were facing that side of my yard. Whatever was outside growled at me again, even though I was inside my house. I never figured out what the hell that was that night out there in the dark. I did look outside the next morning, but there was no trace of anything in the field.